Okay, take 3. Turns out you can't charge your microphone and your phone and record all at once. Anyway, welcome to, I guess, what it's like inside my world if I invited you over for dinner. Also, welcome to my world when I just got to really make do with what's in the fridge, want to use up all my ingredients. What I'm going to make is a risotto, which is honestly what I'd probably make if you came over as a friend to my house. I've got Gregory Alan Isakov playing, and it's Sunday, and I really wanted to do more on my Sunday. And I felt like I kind of got sucked into some dangerous internet loopholes about podcasters and running influencers and people selling courses, and I feel like in some ways I saw all the things that I don't want to be, but they exist on a spectrum. They exist in places that are very close to home, and it really made me think that the internet is what can be quite a dangerous place. And I obviously put out a podcast every Tuesday, right? And I come up with topics, and as a topic, we'll grab a couple cloves of garlic for the risotto. Yeah, as a topic, I kind of just want to talk about where the internet is and how to navigate it, because you can just get really, really stuck in it. And you can have people persuade you and think that there are good ideas and bad ideas, and I love ideas, and I think there's a lot of ideas on the internet, but it's also becoming very homogenous, and even that is me adding to the homogeneity as such of the internet, because that's an opinion that I've seen on the internet. But anyway, what do I like? I like running and I like poetry. And at the moment, that's kind of what my world revolves around. I try and post photos daily, and those photos are usually handwritten quotes that I write, and then I scan them in, and then I post them. And for me, that is a very quick and easy way to do my internet for the day, as you will. Get something up. It helps me grow my audience, helps me build a community, but it means that I don't necessarily have to spend a whole lot of time there. And I think that's like, the long run is like, am I spending all this time on the internet to eventually get off the internet? And perhaps the answer is yes, and if that is the answer, then why don't I just like act away from the internet now? But it's so difficult, right? And I don't think that is a reality for me at the moment, because I'm like, I want to create beautiful things, I want to share beautiful things, and I want to share them with a lot of people. So the internet kind of allows me to do that. Not kind of, it does. Like recently, I hit 1,000 people, not 1,000, 100,000 people. I tell you what, cooking and recording and trying to convey multiple ideas, I have a lot of respect for chefs. It's a level of multitasking that I don't know if I'm doing very well right now. But I've got a whole bunch of ingredients that I'm just trying to use up. So for me, where am I at? It's nearly the end of May 2025, and it's been a pretty amazing year so far. I raced 1 ultra marathon. I've done a poetry tour across Canada, Philippines, Hawaii. I'm in the process of what we've named our running brand, Notes Running. And what else? It's been a in a wedding. I gave a best man speech at one of my best friend's weddings. Whoop. Woo! Bless me. And I feel like I've had some good success with my mentorship program, bringing on new clients, and I've kind of been working with them across a whole range of topics. But I think the thing that comes up most is confidence, right? And I'm helping people build run clubs. I'm helping people build personal brands. I'm helping people find the work that they actually really want to do. I'm helping them be consistent. But what underpins all of that, and what I feel like I help people most with, is confidence and the ability to back yourself and trust the process and do the reps and put out work that you're not proud of. And that's almost like what this video is. It's like, it's such low quality stuff, but I kind of want to walk the talk. And it's like, if I want to put out long form stuff, go and record, go and set up a camera, set it up on a tripod, and go and just show your life, show who you are, tell people what you're doing. So yeah, I've been mentoring people. I've been working on brand deals. I've been doing art direction and creative direction for a brand in Sydney, a women's activewear brand, which is such an amazing project to be a part of, because I feel like photography just keeps re-inspiring me, and I find it's this thing that will forever just keep coming up in my life. And whilst I work on the running brand, well, that's going to be a long, almost like a life project in a way. But I'm so excited to be able to eventually be the photographer for it and work on campaigns. And yeah, photography has been a great thing. So 2025 has been an interesting year of finding clarity, building clarity, having this this point of high performance and peak fitness with the ultra and coming 10th and probably running one of the best races of my life, but then also being in a lull and having a body that's angry and my tendons don't feel right and I don't feel as strong or as powerful as I'd like. And I guess these are, whilst trying to balance relationships and write best man speeches and run a poetry tour across the world, ship out books. I think, my psych said to me a while ago, you're doing way too much for one person, and maybe that's the lesson, right? Now, I am improvising hard on this risotto right now. It's a very big base we've got going here. That leek is making my eyes water just a little bit. But yeah, I think there's just there's a lot to be inspired by in the world, and there's a lot to be misled by in the world, and there's a lot to feel heavy about, and there's a lot to feel excited by. And I think I am always dancing at the moment oscillating between observing the heaviness and observing lightness, being excited or feeling wow, how do we move forward? But I think what is the constant reminder is you got to create, you got to be around good people, you got to get off the internet. You got to be on it, but you got to get off of it even more. But today, my project was designing a bag. Now I'm just going to let this rice become a little bit more translucent. Welcome back to my cooking show. God, I love olive oil. Let me get it. So my question of this episode of this video is, when was the last time you moved your body without trying to change it? That was from a podcast I recorded last night. And if this place running is where you have fun, can we please protect it? But I'll show you some of my sketches. This is what I'm like most excited about, is this. So I'm going to make a little bag that it's going to be this crossbody bag. It locks on, it's super light, carries gels, phone, keys, credit cards, IDs, tampons, you name it. We're going to have it. But then on the back, it has this bungee cord kind of netting. So the bag still stays light and streamlined and doesn't kind of like bulge out, keeps its integrity. But you have this storage function. And that's what I'm like really, really pumped about. So I've been working on that. I really want the bag to have these little charging eyelets and headphone eyelets. So if you're cycling or if you're running, you can have your phone on your back in the bag, but you have this section of the bag where you can have your corded headphones come through. And I'm like jazzed about that. It's got to have room for a pen. It's going to have a phone case, but that's obviously going to be a notepad case as well. Or sleeve. Keys, lights, IDs, rings, credit card, charging cord. I feel like there's a lot of us out there with phones that are not functional at the moment. This feature I'm pumped about. This is going to be like the gel holder, and we'll have these like little bits down the bottom just to really make sure your gel locks in. Oh, I reckon, ooh. Well, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. This is going to be real tasty. Put that on a super low burner. But yeah, they'll hold gels. But if you don't want to hold gels, potentially you could run something along the entire inside and that will hold for you. So that is something that I've been working on today. Colors will be blue, brown, and an off-white. And yeah, I can't wait for that, truly. I should really be preparing some stock. But I wanted to record this mainly as this kind of like archival piece for myself, just to laugh like in time. Like, I can't believe what was I doing trying to do so many things at once? And I think I just love it. I love it all, right? And I think there's going to be something that really, really pops. And the others will, I guess I'll have to build teams or I'll have to drop things. But I love working with people and I love taking photos and I love writing. And so I don't really think that I'm just working on one thing. It's like, I feel like I'm just working on this entire ecosystem. And at the moment, I got to just build that ecosystem by myself. Not by myself, because I have, like with the running brand, I've got an amazing team around me. There's 3 of us, and I can't wait to see these guys like really like step into their roles when they're up and about. So I normally make this with a veggie stock, but I think because I don't need to make food for any, because I don't need to make food for any vegans or vegetarians, I might actually chuck a chicken stock in there tonight. These, whoop. I'm so curious. Like I'm wonderfully curious how this risotto and this podcast is going to turn out, right? I have a question for you. So, oh, that one's full. What is your royal luxury, so to speak? I'm going to put that on a change the burner. We'll get the stock absolutely pumping. Screw it. We'll go all. Yeah, what is your royal luxury? And I guess that is like, what is something that you don't mind spending a little bit of extra money on? And for me, that is produce, good quality produce. Like, if I want to live a high performing life, I want to be putting like really good quality food in, right? Got a couple mushrooms I want to put in there. Another thing that I have thought about a lot this last week is meal prep. Not something I'm like tremendously good at. I do see the purpose of it. Would love to get better at it. But again, the question is like, how do you get better at so many things at once? Or do you just not get better at so many things at once? I wonder if anybody is like, what is going on here? This is a very interesting risotto. This is a risotto of just like whatever's left in the fridge. I've got all these greens, this leek, an onion. I had a bunch of arborio rice, so it's like, why not? Why not? More olive oil. Always more olive oil. That's not even the secret ingredient yet either. Probably should have done this in a bigger pan, but that's okay. One thing I always wonder about is like, like you think about your best friends, or if you don't live with your partner, or you think about your parents or your siblings, and you're like, you know these people so well, and you care about them so much, but you actually really don't get to, like, maybe you catch up with, say, your best friend 2 hours a week. You're like, what do they actually do with the rest of their hours? What does their days look like? So I guess this, like, right now is like almost a look into like, this is the inside of my life and my mundane hours, I suppose. My favorite risotto recipe to make is chicken, sun-dried tomato, and chorizo. That is a epic one. Or otherwise I do a mushroom, truffle oil and sage one. And that one you can also put a salami with if you want to have a meat addition. And then I had friends over the other night, right? I was like, I'm going to make them a risotto. Made a vegetarian one because my girlfriend was here and she's veggie. And it just wasn't good. Like, it really just was not good, which is so disappointing. This stock is now hot. That's what we want. Brought that one up quick. I reckon this is gonna have some like very good flavor. Like, there's some of these, like, I've just been frying off this arborio and they're brown. They're gonna have some flavor. Oh, that already just smells so good. my gosh. Tomorrow, or this week coming up, I have a campaign in Sydney at the end of the week. So I'll be preparing for that, flying over to Sydney during the week. Throughout the week, I don't have any mentorship calls this week because I had, I think 5 mentorship calls this week, but I want to go over all the strategies that we came up with. I want to do check-ins. I want to be like, this is what you're working on. I have Notes Night Run coming back for week 2 of 6. So I think between the strategies, getting across the brand, getting these podcasts done, and going to Sydney will be a pretty solid week. Running wise, I probably want to try and get 70 or 80 Ks a week and get a sauna in. Haven't been maximizing my Pilates membership though, I'll tell you that much. That's something I would like to do more of. Just so many things to do. You see my consistent dilemma? Can turn that top cooker off. Alright, this is actually looking really good. I think this is going to be delicious. Probably don't need any more of these mushies. Can save them maybe for tomorrow. Tell you what, that would be some good prep, is if I just chopped up all the mushies and then tomorrow, bang, brekkie comes along, just fry them off, put them in with an omelette, all good. That's boss talk right there. I'm curious, like how often, if you're watching this, how often would you cook at home? Like every day of the week? Do you buy out most days of the week? Do you get Coca-Cola, chocolate, coconut water? That's done, that's gone into recycling. So I got a splashback, as you can probably see. And for the first 10 months of living here, I had my goals, the places I want to travel, book sales, I had targets. And I was like, I'm gonna change it up a little bit. And I'm just gonna put a poem up there. I really wanted to do a fashion sketch, but I didn't. So I wrote it about this time in 2015, the first time I ever went to San Francisco to visit a friend. And it says, in a San Francisco trains, I'm going to start that again. In a take 3. In a San Francisco train station, a man steps out, well underdressed. It's far too cold for such small outfit. Soon to be greeted by a friend, 6'4" in stature, a warm embrace, one you won't forget. My driver is waiting. Everyone needs a long coat. You see, style is in the eye, not in the pocket. Driven to the studio, next to a rooftop garden. The security guard doesn't know confidence. You won't remember the words, only the places you walked. And in the nights to follow, even the delivery guy is a poet. What is not done with love is only an illusion. Oh my gosh, this looks good. This looks so good. Didn't have enough salt in my risotto the other night. I kind of just want to put this up as a bonus episode that you have to watch, because I think listening to this be like a pretty terrible It'd be a pretty terrible radio show. It'd be kind of funny to watch. Hemp seeds, love them so much. Couple interesting things that happened during the week was I had a new deal for a partnership come through. So that will be with like an athlete nutrition warehouse offer. I could probably say it because I don't really know how many people are watching. But that will be with Aid Station, and I'm excited about that because then not only will I be like funded and be making content and being an athlete and running, but I'll have more money for like life. But as an athlete, it's like such an amazing partnership because I'm going to spend money on protein powder. I'm going to spend money on electrolytes and gels and tailwind recovery and all these things, right? So I think one of the best pieces of advice that I got as an athlete was like, try and just cover your operating costs to begin with. It's like before you go and ask for money, it's like just have your costs as an athlete covered and then go from there. So to have my costs covered with nutrition will actually be so handy. The issue with this is like I don't have a heap of protein in here. So I'm like, do I just put an egg on the side? Do I have some salmon on the side? I have some really amazing salmon. I may do that. I've also got a bunch of spinach that I could probably put through here. I'll do that because why not? Why the hell not? I have another question for you. What is one thing that you always buy, even though you've probably already got it in the house? For me, that's garlic. Got so much. I always just grab a clove of garlic every time I go to the shops. I'm like, probably don't have garlic at home. Have so much garlic at home. And the other one is spinach. I bought 3 of these this week. Stupidly or not so stupidly. So now I'm really just trying to get through a lot of spinach by just dumping it in things. Always looks good. Always makes me feel like I'm getting enough greens in things. The next question is, what is your Sunday evening playlist? What would you be listening to whilst you cook dinner? I've just gone full. Okay, so I lost you there for a very brief moment, and I'll probably only have you for a brief moment longer because it turns out recording videos just absolutely churns through battery. But I wanted to take you through the best part, and the secret which I learned is just adding a stack of butter to your risotto. I can't actually remember where I was in conversation when the battery died. I'm sorry. So I've probably just completely jumped. But this risotto looks amazing. You got to join me for half an hour as I prepared dinner and did the thing that I don't actually like doing, meal prepping, because I don't have anybody over for dinner tonight. So I've just made this. Oops, yeah, that's a tough sound. A little bit of extra stock. Maybe I've got a little bit more. If I'm going to be running another ultra in this year, I need all the butter. But what we've ended up with is a mushroom, leek, and spinach risotto with a chicken stock base and also a base of red onion and garlic. Very, very excited about it. Gonna garnish it with a lot of Parmesan cheese. And there you go. That is a Sunday night with me. My ponderings. Will this be a success? Who knows? Thank you so much for cooking with me. Ciao.